Hello and welcome to Beauty and Chronic Pain. I thought I'd film another video today after I'd done the makeup, so that's why my makeup and my clothes are the same. But this time it's going to be a much shorter video, just talking about how I cope with my chronic pain. My chronic pain started as I had two trapped nerves, one this part of my neck here and the top part of my shoulder here, the trapezius muscle. I used to do pole dancing at university and I always had kind of sore shoulders, just for like as far back as I can remember in secondary school, probably from being so small and carrying heavy books. Even though I had the right kind of rucksack, I just always had sore shoulders. So anyway, I've been doing pole dancing for a couple of years, loved it, it was amazing. A great sport, great for your body, great for confidence, great way of making friends. So if there's anybody that I've done pole dancing with, either at UWE, at the Pole Society, or just from Spin City, hi! And I miss you girls. So anyway, I had two trapped nerves in this one class that was for handstands and I don't know why I'm so fidgety. I guess I feel a little nervous. I don't know why, because I'm just straight talking, I guess. So yeah, I had the two trapped nerves from a class that was to do with headstands and contortion. And the lovely teacher there said that it was definitely two trapped nerves at the same time. She's also a trained physiotherapist, so she worked on it, tried to, get the spasms to stop because it was so painful. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe the pain, and it's almost debilitating. It's kind of like when you get whiplash and you kind of tense up, you just clutch like your head or, your neck. And then you can't move and you're like, wow, this is like a really horrible pain. Really strong. 10 out of 10 pain. I say 10 out of 10 because I haven't given birth. So I imagine if I did, the pain would be rated differently. Anyway, so I fast forward a few years. Over the following few years, I had deep tissue massages, sports massage. I guess there's a bit of difference. Some active release therapy where, they find the point of pain or where there's tense and they just use their finger or thumb to just push down on it really hard, which is very painful, but it stops the tension. It does relax the area. I think that's how it works. That's how I understand it anyway. I kept obviously going to my doctor and said, this pain just keeps coming back, whether I did it would come and go, so I thought it would be better than I'd do some yoga or Pilates at home, and then I'd build up and go to another pole session. I avoided doing any shoulder mounts or deadlifts, where you put the pole right here on your shoulder and try to throw your legs up in the air, or any of the other various moves that required me to put my shoulder to the pole. I was put on cocodamol from my doctor, which is, codeine plus paracetamol. I was to take it 4 times a day, and 2 tablets 4 times a day, or as and when required. I was getting frustrated and going backwards and forwards to the doctors, pained so much, and I was so tired because of the cocodamol. I eventually stopped going to pole. I think I had it about 2 years, and then I decided to go to a chiropractor because I felt I needed another specialist to look at it, because my doctor wasn't getting anywhere new. The sports massages weren't working, and I just thought I'd give it a try. And the chiropractor agreed that it was I had a trapped nerve They never said that I had two, but I think one of them didn't come back as much. But I still had the same pain on the right. Some days it was so bad, like I'd wake up and like, you know, stretch a little bit, and I'd forget myself, I'd just stretch, and then they'd be stuck, like frozen like this. Literally like this, I'm not exaggerating. And it was more frozen out of fear of the pain. I would tense, and if my boyfriend was home, and like if I'd staying over at his, I'd call out for him and be like, you know, tell him I'm in so much pain, I can't move. You know, I was panicking, didn't know what to do, so he'd get me painkillers, tried to put ice on it if I could tolerate the cold, which sometimes, even, I don't like cold at the best of times, but sometimes just as well touching the area was so sensitive that I was like, don't even touch me with a feather, it's gonna just cause more pain, it's more than I can handle. I was at the chiropractor for, I think it was about 6 months before the trapped nerve stopped coming back, but by then, because it happened so frequently and kept coming back so frequently over about 2 years, I just developed like a full body ache. I had lower back ache all the time. My left shoulder was hurting because it was trying. I'd be bedridden again for 3 days. Just because I'd left the house and walked. After I got, by this stage as well, my GP had put me on amitriptyline to help with the pain because the codeine was taking the edge off but not doing much more than that. I was still in tremendous amounts of pain. My boyfriend would still carry me from like the sofa to the bathroom. It would help me to shower. I'm naturally quite afro hair. Even when it's relaxed, it still gets very thick, so I'd have to, you know, wash it and straighten it, and then I could only wash it, then I'd have to take a break for about an hour before I could then blow dry it straight, and then take another break, and then use straighteners on it. So it was a very laborious process, and that was stressing me out because I actually liked straightening my hair. And now I'm at a stage where I just don't bother washing my own hair. My boyfriend washes it for me because my shoulder pain is that bad. I just can't put my hands up to my head and just like, you know, really work up a good lather to get it clean enough. So I go to the hairdressers once a fortnight. Sometimes I pay, sometimes my boyfriend pays. Because he can wash it and then I leave it to air dry. He can roughly dry it with a blow dryer for me. But once I made him blow dry it completely straight, did the whole process, and straighten it with my hair straighteners as well. And it took him so long to do, and he was like, never again, I'd rather pay for you to have it done than have to go through that again. And because he's so big being a bodybuilder as well, he got like a pump in his arms from constantly having to like go, shh. This is like the hairdryer in my hand and my brush, just pulling it back to straighten it constantly. It just gave him a pump in his shoulders and arms, and it just wasn't worth it for him, which was fine by me and totally hilarious. And I have a great hairdresser now. I have a great relationship with my hairdresser. It's here in Clevedon, Identity Salon, and my hairdresser is Beth. Hi Beth. So anyway, now my diagnosis was about 18 months ago, I think. I had the official diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And how I cope with that now is I have a mobility scooter which I've had for a year. So I got the diagnosis in the November, and then I think it was November 2016, and then by the January I just bought February I bought a mobility scooter because I just couldn't cope with walking and being bedridden for 3 days. So I'm going to tell you how else I cope with my chronic pain, well, my fibro. I take some natural supplements alongside the prescriptive painkillers, and I take ashwagandha, which is really good. Not so much, it's not like a painkiller, but it's good for like the fatigue side of things and the brain side of things. It's also really good for stress, and I think it's good for anxiety. Definitely stress. That I don't want to have stress now because I take the ashwagandha regularly, and I take it with a supplement called rhodiola rosea. Yeah, sorry, I am reading this. I feel less stress, and the stress doesn't really give me IBS anymore. I also take coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10, again for the brain side of things. It really helps with my fatigue, because I got to the point where I was just narcoleptic, especially if I hadn't slept for long enough. I sleep now as well. If I've got no appointments, no alarms going off, and my boyfriend doesn't wake me up to say hi to me in his lunch break, I sleep easily 10 to 14 hours a day. And I don't feel refreshed when I wake up. I'm still groggy, probably because I've slept for so long. I've tried to sleep 8 hours and I'll need a nap. Slept 9 hours, you know, try to tweak it, 10 hours, try to work it out. I just accept it for what it is now. And if I have appointments, I get up early and then I nap. If I sleep for 10, 12 hours, then I don't nap. But I am still tired. But less so with the CoQ10. I also take vitamin D, a fairly high dose, mixed with calcium, to make, because I had to be tested for osteoporosis as well, while they were trying to work out why I was in pain all the time. They did blood tests as well to make sure I didn't have cancer, which was between having been told that I need to be checked for blood cancer, not blood cancer, have my bloods taken to test for cancer, having an MRI that showed that it was a funny looking sort of mass in my spine, doing a second MRI to confirm that that mass was just my T7 vertebrae is a butterfly shape, or is it C7? Anyway, it's butterfly shaped, so it's nothing unusual. So being told 6 weeks later that I didn't have cancer, definitely not from the bloods. That was a horrible 6 months of my life. I started drinking every day, minimum of a bottle of wine, sometimes 2 bottles per night, because I was convinced I had cancer and I was going to die. But yeah, that's a whole different story. I stopped drinking after that anyway. And now as well, I also take amitriptyline still every night, prescribed by my doctor. Take the cocodamol as and when I need it. I take pregabalin, which is anti-anxiety medication. Like, I think they use it for like anti-epilepsy medicine, but I'm not 100%. I take turmeric, the supplement, omega-3 for the brain side of things. The turmeric I think is supposed to help with inflammation. I've started again recently seeing a chiropractor because I felt I had nerve pain again. I have aromatherapy massages once a fortnight too. That helps to relax my muscles, because most of my pain is muscular rather than joint. I do get a little bit of joint pain with the fibro. I use either deep heat as well. I have an electric heat pad which is very big, goes across like a big section of my back, to help with the pain. I have a TENS machine as well, which I don't really use that much at the moment because I didn't find it quite as helpful for when I have more intense pain. And I have hot baths sometimes, again to relax the muscles, to relax my mind as well. And last but not least, I have a little stool in my bathtub that I sit on so I can have a shower by myself. Trying to retain some independence, not be too dependent on my boyfriend. Not that he wouldn't happily help me to shower, that he does before, help me to stand up and that. I just like feeling for me that I've got some control of my life. And at the moment that's everything I'm doing to support myself. I'm still taking antidepressants, venlafaxine. And I'm somewhat trying to lose weight as well, because I've gone from a dress size UK 12 to a UK 20, which has been really hard on me mentally. It's not been easy, but that's a whole different story for another day. I hope any of this information helps. I'm not telling you to take any of this stuff. I'm definitely not recommending it. I'm not a professional by any means. Just somebody who's been suffering and struggling for many years, sharing what I found helpful and what I found less helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. If not, I'll see you next time on Beauty and Chronic Pain.